Dear friends, welcome to another segment of MOOC Swayam course on nationalism and constitutional growth in India, 1858 to 1920. Let us now talk about Indian National Congress and its initial years. The foundation of the Indian National Congress in the later 1870s and early 1880s, a solid ground had been prepared for the establishment of an all India organization. The final shape to this idea was given by a retired English civil servant, A.O. Hume, who mobilized leading intellectuals of the time and, with their cooperation, organized the first session of the Indian National Congress at Gokuldas Tejpal Sanskrit College in Bombay in December 1885. As a prelude to this, two sessions of the Indian National Conference had been held in 1883 and 1855, which had representatives drawn from all major towns of India. Surendranath Banerjee and Anand Mohan Bose were the main architects of the Indian National Conference. The first session of the Indian National Congress was attended by 72 delegates and presided over by Vyumesh Chandra Banerjee. Hereafter, the Congress met every year in December in a different part of the country each time. Some of the great presidents of the Congress during this early phase were Dadabhai Naoroji. He became thrice president of Indian National Congress, Badruddin Tayyabji, Firoz Shah Mehta, P. Anand Charlu, Surendranath Banerjee, Ramesh Chandra Dutt, Anand Mohan Bose, Gopal Krishna Gokhale. Other prominent leaders included M.G. Ranade, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Sisir Kumar Ghosh, Motilal Ghosh, Madan Mohan Malviya, G. Subramania Iyer, C. Vijay Raghavacharya, Dinshayi Vacha. In 1890, Kadambini Ganguly, the first woman graduate of Calcutta University, addressed the Congress session, which symbolized the commitment of the freedom struggle to give the women of India their due status in national life. Apart from the Indian National Congress, nationalist activity was carried out through provincial conferences and associations, newspapers, and literature. Now, if we go by the very foundation story, which I have already talked about. Now, let us move ahead by seeing that what sort of nationalist activities they were doing. The nationalist activity through provincial conferences, associations, newspapers, and literature. There's emphasis on the significance of women's role in the freedom struggle. If there's very interesting theories, especially which was floated by David O. Hume, that the Indian National Congress, which was established in 1985, is the organization which is going to work as a safety valve between the Indian people and the British Raj, the government, so that it will be able to release discontent of the people, right? Now, there were a lot of disputes and criticism of the theory by Indian historians. The very idea, the very belief that the Congress represents the urge of politically conscious Indians to express political and economic demands, Hume viewed as a lightning conductor by early Congress leaders, catalyzing the unity of nationalistic forces. So, whether Indian National Congress was a safety valve or not, that is a very primary question. So, the very theory that Hume formed the Congress with the idea that it would prove to be a safety valve for releasing the growing discontent of the Indians. To this end, Hume convinced Lord Dufferin not to obstruct the formation of the Congress. The extremist leaders like Lala Lajpat Rai believed in the safety valve theory. Even the Marxist historians, conspiracy theory was an offspring of the safety valve. For example, R.P. Dutt opined that the Indian National Congress was born out of a conspiracy to abort a popular uprising in India. And the bourgeois leaders were a party to it. Modern Indian historians, however, dispute the idea of safety valve. In their opinion, the Indian National Congress represented the urge of the politically conscious Indians to set up a national body to express the political and economic demands of the Indians. If the Indians had convened such a body on their own, there would have been unsurmountable opposition from the officials. Such an organization would not have been allowed to form. In the circumstances, as Bipin Chandra observes, the early Congress leaders used Hume as a lightning conductor. That is, as a catalyst to bring together the nationalistic forces, even if under the guise of a safety valve. So, the very theory of safety valve is a kind of strategic move by the leaders of the time that using Hume would not irritate the government of the time, because Hume will be convincing that Indian National Congress is not going to be used as a platform where the leaders will be opining their radical ideas against the government and conspiring against the government, so on and so forth. Instead, Indian National Congress is going to be a platform where Indians will be having a certain kind of grievances where they will be putting forth, and government can actually address those questions. Now let us also see aims and objectives of the Indian National Congress. Why it was formed, what was the objective. Now if we see the aims and objectives of the Indian National Congress, what we find that it was founded on a democratic and a nationalist movement principle. It wanted to be a movement, pan-India movement, where all these small organizations like Bengal India Association and other associations which were functioning in India and other social movements, they will come under the umbrella called Indian National Congress. All the leaders will be invited to be part of this, and and there will be very democratic sort of understanding. So the aim was to kind of establish a democratic and nationalist movement. Now the Congress aimed to provide a platform for people to voice their concerns and actively participate in shaping the future of the nation. Now, if we go by the other sort of activities or objectives, the Congress sought to politicize and politically educate the masses by empowering them to understand and engage in the political process. It was very important, activity of the time that Indian masses, especially, were uneducated, and they were not empowered to understand certain political notions of liberty, democracy, equality, their issues, their grievances. They were unable to raise. They were unable to create a pressure either on the Congress or other organizations. So it was rather a duty of the Indian National Congress to politicize and educate the masses politically by empowering them to understand and engage in the political process. Now, another objective was to establish a central headquarters for the nationalist movement, serving as a hub for strategic planning and coordination. Because, as I said, that Pan India organization is an umbrella organization of all the other organizations combined together, coming under one umbrella called Indian National Congress, need to have, you know, a central headquarter. And because Indian National Congress from its establishment has been holding annual meetings in different cities and locations, was also because of the fact that strategically it wanted not to centralize the activities of the Congress into one city, and it gave confidence to various other locations where people felt that the Indian national movement is the movement of their own and they must participate into. They became part of the activities, and they wanted to be part of the Indian national movement by heart, so that they will be able to achieve their mission and goal. So Indian National Congress in a way wanted to promote that sort of unity, and it wanted to promote the idea of anti-colonial ideology, which in a way was not possible unless there should be all sort of harmonious relationship between the companies, communities, and also political workers who belong from various regions, and all the activities were having certain kind of nationalist fervor, but that was not channeled or channelized. The energies were not channelized into one direction, and it was the Indian National Congress which is spearheaded to channelize those energies so that it should become a big movement, and ultimately by ousting the alien rule. And then this development and propagation of anti-colonial ideology, it created, by inspiring the generations to resist against colonial rule, to resist against the hegemonic colonial rule which wanted subjugation and servility of the Indian masses. And through various programmatic nationalism, through various sort of activities, Indian National Congress, by writing into the pamphlets, newspapers, cultural programs in the annual sessions, they wanted to bring all the issues of Indian masses on one platform, so that people should not be left on their own. Rather, they have a pan-India movement which can take them together. Now, the idea of national unity and nurturing Indian nationhood was again taken up by the Congress, which aimed to formulate and present popular demands before the government to unify people over a common economic and political program. And lastly, the objectives, which included the development and consolidation of a feeling of national unity, which I have talked about in previous lecture as well, that how this feeling of national unity was important against the alien rule by giving up all sort of parochial mindedness, by transcending all sort of barriers of religion, caste, creed, language, or province. Everyone should be part of the movement, and there should be understanding of idea of freedom, right to self-determination under one nationhood called India. So on the screen, if you can see, these are the important Indian National Congress sessions in the initial years, because we are dealing here the initial years of Indian National Congress, from 1885, which is started in Mumbai, to 1886. You could see Calcutta and Madras in 1887. Then in Allahabad, 1888. In 1889, you have in other places. If you can see that the first president of Indian National Congress was Vyomesh Chandra Banerjee, and as I said, that it was attended by 72 delegates, 54 Hindus, 2 Muslims, and the other remaining members were Jains and Parsis, etc. Similarly, Dadabhai Naoroji, who became 3-time president of Indian National Congress, presided the session, which ultimately Congress decided to establish a provincial Congress committee across the country. So with this, I conclude here, and in the next segment, we'll try to deliberate upon some of the other activities taken up by Indian National Congress in the coming sessions, as well as also the ideology, as well as bifurcation of Indian National Congress into two group called the moderates and the extremists in the next lecture, so that you will be able to have a broad overview of the activities of Indian National Congress. Thank you. Thank you so much.